This is a message for the state representatives of New Jersey, urging you for your continued support of funding for charter schools in our state and country. About 20 years ago, the country's first charter school opened in Minnesota. Today, more than 2 million families now send their children to public charter schools across the United States. The goal of the charter school movement has always been to fundamentally transform public education in our country. However, the debate that exists today is whether or not charter schools are actually making this transformation possible. I would like to prove to you why your continued funding of charter schools will in fact improve the education system in America, as long as the schools are set up under certain conditions to ensure their success. Charter schools operate as unique public schools within a school district. Charter schools operate through a charter from the state government, although they receive their per-student funding from the school district where they're located. However, they operate independently from the school district and therefore are given much more freedom as to how they choose to operate. But this freedom comes with a price, a promise of higher student achievement. So how does a charter school ensure success from their students? Well, charters succeed because of their two defining characteristics, accountability and freedom. Accountability and freedom do not guarantee that a school will provide an excellent education, but they work hand in hand and both must be present in any successful charter school organization. In exchange for being held accountable for student achievement results, charter schools are generally free from bureaucratic and union rules that prevent administrators from hiring, firing, and evaluating their own teams. Freedom also allows charters to experiment and innovate in ways that are tailored to meet the needs of their student population. As a result, many charter schools have implemented programs such as extended school day, extended school year, tutoring sessions, required athletic sessions, and hands-on experiences that just aren't available in public school environments. But freedom without accountability is irresponsible. Like any professional, educators must be held accountable for the results of their work. Accountability attracts the best teachers into the profession. Smart, driven people want to work in a place that holds them accountable, where they'll work alongside other educators who share their values. The first among them usually being a belief that all children can learn at a high level. It's exciting for teachers to work with talented colleagues who believe enough in their own abilities that they're willing to be held accountable for student learning outcomes. Talented teachers don't want to be told exactly what to do and how to do it, so a successful school gives teachers clear objectives but the freedom to come up with their own ideas and to select the practices they think are best. Mary Ann Paredes, an art teacher at a Harlem Village Academy charter school, explained, "Here, I am given the opportunity to innovate with projects I never could have done in a bureaucracy. In my old school, I had a feeling of stagnation and lost my intellectual rigor. Here, I've been invited to explore and learn in a way that is making me more effective. Because the trust level is so high here, it's easy to be open to admit my frustration and ask for help." Under the proper conditions of both freedom and accountability being met, charter schools have a distinct advantage at ensuring the success of their students. However, this lack of publicly accountable boards and institutions is often looked at as a point of contention among critics of the charter school movement. As proof, they point to the fact that charter schools close when they do not serve their mission. Proponents agree, though, that in reality, this is the kind of accountability that has long been absent from public schools. In teacher surveys, freedom from procedural rules and related constraints is often cited as what charter teachers value the most. Charter schools' accountability is based on goals set and the extent to which parents who choose those schools believe the school is meeting their expectations. Traditional public schools that consistently fail to meet goals are simply propped up and continue to do a disservice to the students attending them. Charter schools that consistently fail to meet goals are closed, which is an important, powerful measure of accountability. Another common criticism is that the success of charter schools is due to the schools handpicking their students. This is simply not true. By law, charter schools must have a fair and open admission process, conducting outreach and recruitment to all segments of the community they serve. They are public schools and therefore cannot choose which students attend. Like other public schools, charter schools are non-sectarian and non-discriminatory in admission and employment practices. Charter school students are admitted on a first-come, first-served basis or by lottery when applicants exceed available slots. No tuition may be charged. Charter schools are also often blamed for taking money away from public schools. But these critics forget, firstly, that charter schools are public schools. So yes, when a child goes to a charter school, their public funding follows them. but proponents agree that this only benefits the public school system by instilling a sense of accountability into the entire system regarding its services to the students and parents. Charter schools provide a variety of services to children that arguably place healthy pressure on the district to provide equal or better services. In 2001, the U.S. Department of Education released a major study called The Impact of Charter Schools on School Districts. They reported that more than half of traditional school districts created new educational programs in response to charter schools. Proponents maintain that charter schools increase accountability across all schools in their given district, not just within their own school. And finally, charter schools are often criticized for not being able to prove that they're actually creating higher student performance than their public counterparts. Well, this is only partly true. Not all charter schools are currently on par with where they were originally intended to be, but there is solid research that charter schools are headed in the right direction towards making the huge educational reforms in America as planned. In 2011, the California Charter Schools Association issued a report on the condition of charter schools in their state. They found the following. Over time, the number of outperforming charters is increasing, while the number of underperformers is decreasing. Excellence is replicable. Schools in charter management organizations have a better track record of excellence than charters that have no CMO affiliation. And we're closing the achievement gap. Charter schools serving low-income kids are outperforming comparable traditional schools. And according to the Center for Education Reform, research has been building in states that administer statewide standards testing. 15 studies show positive achievement and gains among charter schools, which show that there is evidence that many work. Nearly every study demonstrated that students' progress was at or above the progress recorded by students in surrounding traditional public schools, demographically comparable schools, and the state average. I urge you to continue to provide this funding in order to support the growth of quality schools throughout our country. With the proper funding and support, charter schools can continue to work towards building schools that give teachers the freedom and opportunity to create innovative lessons in their classrooms, yet hold them more accountable for their results. Under these conditions, charter schools will continue to transform the United States education system and create the reform that is so vital to our country's future.